on everybody and follow me, from the beach to the coast or in the sea. It's time for learning, it's time for fun. It's a great adventure for everyone. Come on everybody and follow me, jump in, swim on to the bottom of the sea. It's time for adventure, fun and learning. Say right back, it's time for Scuba Jack. It's time for Scuba Jack.
Hi kids, let's go.
Good morning, everybody. Come and gather around. I have a special treat for you today. Today, we're going to talk about an interesting sea creature.
What is it?
I'm going to give you a hint. It's not a fish.
Is it an octopus?
An octopus, that's a great answer. It's not an octopus, but I'm going to give you another hint. It lives on the ocean floor. It has 2 big claws, and people love to eat them. A lobster, you're so smart.
Langosta.
No, it's a lobster.
Langosta.
Who said that?
Paco!
Hola, Miss Beth.
Hola, Paco.
Hola, children. I just wanted to tell you that the word for lobster in Espanol, in Spanish, is langosta.
Can you say that, children? Say langosta.
Langosta.
Now you kids can try it at home. Say langosta.
Langosta.
Thanks for teaching us a Spanish word, Paco.
No problem, Miss Beth. De nada. Well, I've got to go. Adios, children. Adios, Miss Beth.
Goodbye, Paco. Adios. So, if we're learning about lobsters or langosta, what do you think the letter of the day is? Listen to the word. Lobster.
L.
Right, you're so smart. This is the letter L. Do you know someone who could tell us more about lobsters?
Scuba Jack! Scuba Jack! Scuba Jack!
Oh, hey, Miss Beth. Hey, kids. You know, you almost caught me in my PJs.
It looks like we almost did.
Galloping seahorses. So, what are we learning about today?
Langosta!
Langwhatsa?
Langosta.
Today we're learning about lobsters. Paco taught us the Spanish word for lobster, langosta. Do you know anything about lobsters, Scuba Jack?
Well, I sure do. But my friend, Captain Joe, he has a lobster boat over in Gloucester, Massachusetts, and I bet you he could show us some real live lobsters. What do you say, kids? Would you like to go see some real live lobsters?
Yeah!
Well, I guess I'll use my handy-dandy Starlink 2000. Professor Galaxy, can you hear me, Professor Galaxy? Come in.
I'm here. Is there something I can help you with, Scuba Jack?
Well, I need a lift out to Gloucester, Massachusetts to see my friend Captain Joe. Can you help me, Professor?
No problem, Scuba Jack. And I'll also help you with the flippers. You know, Miss Beth, you and the kids can watch him there on the TV in the classroom. Okay, Scuba Jack, hold on to your snorkel.
He's gone. Let's turn on the TV and see where he went.
Whoa! Professor Galaxy! Hold on, Scuba Jack, just 1 minute. Let me fix this.
Oh, finally! Here we are in beautiful Gloucester, Massachusetts. It has a great history and lots of interesting places to see. And it's also the home of my friend Captain Joe. Let's go see if we can find him.
Children, a breakwater is built to protect the harbor and the ships and the town inside from strong waves that come from the sea.
Hi, kids! Here we are at the breakwater at Eastern Point. Just look at the size of these stones. Look how far out they go. And can you imagine that these stones have even been moved during storms just by the power of the water? Now that is powerful. My friend Captain Joe here?
No!
Captain Joe here?
No!
Is Captain Joe here? Is Captain Joe in here? Maybe Captain Joe's out here. Do you see Captain Joe? You know, I don't see him either. Let's go over to Eastern Point Lighthouse and see if Captain Joe's over there. Well, kids, here we are at Eastern Point Lighthouse. Say, do you know what a lighthouse is used for?
A lighthouse is a tower that flashes a very bright light from the top, so ships coming close can see in the dark or fog. That way they don't crash into rocks or run ashore. Is Captain Joe in that lighthouse?
No? Well, there's one more place that we can check, and that's the docks down in Gloucester Harbor. Let's go see if we can find him there. Well, here we are at Gloucester Harbor, and what a beautiful place. I just wish I could find Captain Joe.
Behind you!
What?
Right behind you!
He's right behind me? Well, there he is. Hey, Captain Joe.
Hey, Scuba Jack, what brings you here today?
Well, my friends and I wanted to learn about catching lobsters, and I figured who better to learn from than a real lobsterman.
Well, no problem, Scuba Jack. I'd love to help. You know what? I actually have one right here.
Whoa, that's a real beauty. Say, how do you catch a lobster?
We use a lobster trap like this one from a boat. Let me show you how it works.
Catching a lobster can be hard work, and today we're going on a real lobster boat to see just how they do it. First, they take the lobster's favorite food and use it for bait. The bait is stuffed into a net bag and tied up nice and tight so nothing falls out. Then they take the bag and hang it up in the trap. This is how they get the hungry lobsters to go inside. After the trap is baited, they throw it into the water and it sinks all the way to the bottom, down to where the lobsters live. A floating buoy is attached to each trap so they can remember where to find them. This is how a trap works. Following the scent of the hanging bait, the lobster crawls into the trap, landing in an area known as the kitchen. With the food in its claw, the lobster tries to escape by crawling to either side. But instead of finding a way out, it's dropped into a sealed compartment called the parlor. This is the way traps looked 25 years ago. They were made of wood. But now they're made of metal, wiring, and mesh. After a while, it's time to reel the traps in. Wow, look at that lobster.
Nice lobster.
After they catch the lobster, they have to measure them to see if they can keep them. If they're the right size, they put rubber bands on their claws so they can't pinch anybody or hurt other lobsters. Then they throw them into a holding tank. Sometimes they catch lobsters that are too big. And sometimes they catch lobsters that are too small. But one thing's for sure, they sure do catch a lot of lobsters that are just the right size.
Lobsters are members of the crustacean family. Crustaceans have hard shells and jointed appendages. Appendages are like arms and legs. Other types of crustaceans are shrimp and crabs.
You know, I think my friend Professor Galaxy and his nephew Dominic can tell us a little bit more about lobsters. Are you there, Professor Galaxy?
I sure am. Is there something I can help you with, Scuba Jack?
Do you have more information about lobsters?
That's a silly question. I sure do, Scuba Jack.
Ha! You look funny.
Yeah? Now we look funny. Okay, what you have there is a nice example of Homarus americanus, American lobster. When you look at a lobster, the first thing you notice is its two strong claws. These are used for gathering food and wrestling with the other lobsters. Here, take a look. This one is a crusher claw. It is very strong and usually a little bit bigger than the other claws. Lobsters sometimes use this to crush the shells and get at the food in the inside. This one is a pincher claw. It has a finer edge and is used for ripping things apart. The claw moves faster than the crusher claw, making it useful in catching its prey. Besides its two front claws, the lobster has 8 walking legs, giving it 10 legs altogether, which is why a lobster is classified as a decapod.
Deca what?
Decapod. Deca is the Greek prefix meaning 10. Pod means to have feet. So decapod means to have 10 feet.
Yeah, what he said. Anyways, besides humans, cod is the main enemy of a lobster, followed by other bottom-dwelling fish. No, Dominic, don't play with those. Those are dangerous. Lobsters usually walk forward on their walking legs, but if they need to get away from something quickly, they curl their tail up under them, and that will make them scoot backwards. I better let you go, Scuba Jack.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z.
Do you see a rectangle? A rectangle has 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you see a square? A square has 4 equal sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. What about a triangle? A triangle has 3 sides. 1, 2, 3. A circle is perfectly round. Do you see a circle? Can you find the squares? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 squares. I see some squares here. Can you find them? 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. Now let's look for rectangles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. Now let's try to find some circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Great job.
Hey, Captain Joe, my friends and I have even more questions about lobsters.
Sure, Scuba Jack, what would you like to know?
Well, like when lobsters get hungry, what do they eat?
Well, typically lobsters eat small crabs, clams, mussels, and the occasional sea urchin.
That sounds yummy. Hey, can lobsters see?
They sure can, Scuba Jack. but they probably don't see like you and I do. But their eyes detect movement in dim light. This is important since lobsters live on the ocean floor where very little light gets through and the water can sometimes be very cloudy.
Well, if they have a shell, how do lobsters grow?
Well, lobsters molt in order to grow. This means that their shell falls off and they grow a new one. Lobsters never stop growing like we do. They continue to grow their whole lives.
Its whole life? Well, Captain Joe, what was the largest lobster that anyone's ever caught?
The largest lobster ever caught was 44 pounds. It was between 3 and 4 feet long. It was caught in 1977 off the coast of Nova Scotia. It is believed that this lobster could have been 100 years old.
Wow, that sure is a big lobster.
It sure is, Scuba Jack.
Well, Captain Joe, you sure do know a lot about lobsters. Thank you so much for teaching us all about them today.
Oh, you're very welcome. Come back anytime. Bye, kids.
Carl and Larry. One, two, three, four,
Wow, that was quite an adventure. I learned so much about lobsters. Did you enjoy the adventures, kids? What was your favorite part? Great. Let's all think of something that begins with the letter L.
Ladybug. What color should it be?
red,
How about its spots?
blue,
Blue? Okay. Lamb. What color should we color the lamb?
purple,
Purple? Okay. Lizard. What color is a lizard?
green,
A lion. What color is a lion?
yellow,
How about his mane?
orange,
Okay, kids, it's story time, and I have a great one about how Carl and Larry met.
There once was a little lobster, as lonely as can be. He lived upon the sandy floor at the bottom of the sea. The little lobster lived alone, and this really made him blue. All he wanted was a friend to show his treasures to. One stormy day, a wave came in, and when the bubbles cleared, there, on the sand next to him, a tiny crab appeared. "Hello there," said the lobster. "I'm glad you came to play. I was just about to have some lunch. Would you like to stay?" "I would love to," said the little crab. "I've been hungry for a while. You asking me to share your lunch has really made me smile." After lunch, the two just talked about the fun they had. Since the lobster met the crab, he was no longer sad. The two remained the best of friends, having adventures every day. They explored nearby shipwrecks and found new games to play. The little lobster and the crab were happy as can be. They couldn't think of a nicer place than underneath the sea.
Okay, kids, believe it or not, our day is just about over already. We have time for just one more fun thing. We learned that lobsters walk around in the bottom of the ocean and scoot backwards if they need to get away quickly. Let's all take a minute to walk like lobsters, trying going forwards and backwards.
What a great day we've had. What did you all learn about today? I can't wait till our next adventure, and I hope all of you at home can be there with us.
Until then, don't forget to go to our website, avengersofscubajack.com, to get all the great activities and projects that are waiting for you. Remember to ask a grown-up for permission and help if you need it. See you again real soon.
Everybody